Okay, we're on the air. This is Dr. Bernie. I am with the Masseri Clinic, and the Masseri Clinic is all homeopathic. Our remedies are all from London, so we have the best of the best. We're going to talk today a little bit about Lyme disease, and I know I've talked about this before, but I am a little depressed about the response from people with Lyme disease because there was none. And I'll tell you why. All of you, and you're going to learn that I'm very brash and I'm very straightforward to the point, and I call it like it is. So if you can't handle that, don't listen anymore. People with Lyme disease join these little Lyme groups, and they're happy to be a part of something in their life because they're all going to die. And so they join these groups and they're happy to be a part of something so they can talk about their problems with Lyme. But they never do anything about it because doctors tell them they can't be cured. Now, how stupid is that? Your body is amazing and it can cure itself with the proper tools, which is what homeopathy will give you. If you're not familiar with homeopathic medicine, it is medicine made from animal, vegetable, mineral, made into real medicines, taking out all of the toxins. So your brain identifies with the medication and the body comes to its rescue and cures you, and it works every time. I don't care what you have. Unless you are end stage cancer, I can work with you. If you're end stage cancer, you waited too long for anyone to help you. And most times with cancer, you don't know until it's too late anyway. So, which is really sad for this country to not be able to give us the cure that they know they have for cancer or a vaccine to prevent cancer, because this country can do it. But hey, cancer is a moneymaker. So what do you think FDA is going to do? You're going to keep coming in the doors of the doctors and coming into your little chemo treatments that kill you, and you're going to keep shelling out your money, and so will your insurance company, because you have cancer. Well, that sucks. Cancer can be cured, but it's too big of a moneymaker until something else comes along that's worse than cancer. Then they'll give you the cure and they'll work on something else that they're going to rob your money from. Okay, back to Lyme disease. So you join these little groups so you could talk about your problems with Lyme disease. And everybody, I guess, gets a kick out of it. Who's going to be sicker than the next person? Who tried this and who tried that, and that didn't work and this didn't work. Well, you haven't tried homeopathy. And for those of you that did, you got the wrong homeopath. How about that? Call us at the Masseri Clinic because we work with everything. And I have many Lyme patients. 480-703-0151. We are located in Mesa, Arizona at 3707 South Southern Avenue, or East Southern Avenue, I'm sorry. Mesa 85206. I hope. I'm not big on addresses. So 3707 East Southern Avenue, you'll get me. Again, 480-703-0151 is our cell number to the clinic. You can get me any hour. Don't call me at 2 a.m. to talk about the stock market. Okay, here's how we cure Lyme disease. We cure it with like. Let me explain that. If you have a lung problem, we're going to give you medicine that's called lung because it's taken from the lungs. If you have a liver problem, we're going to give you a remedy called liver because it's taken from different phases and stages of liver problems and diseases. I know I say a lot. I'm thinking. So when you go to the doctor and the doctor says, nah, you can't be cured, you can't cure you, you have Lyme disease, you're going to die. Well, they're not going to tell you you're going to die because they have to keep your money coming in the door. And they're going to give you different medicines and treatments and this and that. And no, it's not going to work because they don't really know how to work with Lyme disease. The only way to kill that disease is to give you the homeopathic remedy called Lyme, so it fights itself and it kills because it gets tired of fighting and it dies. Now, what is Lyme disease? For all of you people in your little groups out there, now you could talk about something new. Lyme disease, that you all know, and if you don't, you're going to know it now, is brought on by the deer tick. Now, even mosquitoes carry it. So you have to be really careful. You live in an area with a lot of mosquitoes, beware. Might want to use a repellent, which is going to give you more toxins. Well, what are you going to do? Okay, so the reason why you have Lyme disease, once again, the deer tick bites you. You don't even know you've been bitten. You don't even see a mark. What if it's on your head? You're never going to see it. Does it itch? No. If it's on your buttocks, you're going to see it? No. Does it itch? It might. What the tick does when he bites you, he spits in uh, what's called Borrelia burgdorferi, which is a Lyme disease. Borrelia burgdorferi is a spiral-like uh, little critter in his sputum, and it's real. It goes into your bloodstream, and it creates a cocoon. And when that cocoon grows, and it will burst open, and thousands of little baby Burgdorferi, Borrelia burgdorferi occur. Thousands of little spirochetes, called spirochetes, little spirals occur, and they travel through your bloodstream. And boy, do you get sick. You're hooked. You have Lyme disease. What? You tell me what a doctor is going to do with a vaccine that's going to cure Lyme disease. Nothing, because there is no vaccine for this. Nothing. No vaccine that they have out there that cures a lot of things or helps, depress many illnesses. Nothing matches for Lyme disease. So we give you the homeopathic Borrelia burgdorferi, and I use all drops. I get all my remedies from London, Germany, or France. London, number one, because my manufacturers make everything fresh for me. And it's wonderful. I trained in London, and you can't get better training because that's the real deal. You train anywhere else in the country, I don't know what you're going to get, but you're not going to get it all. And that's why I get so many patients that come to me, because I really treat with the right medicines, and I know my medicines, and I've been in business since 1994. They made me a fellow of my school, which is at the time the British Institute of Homeopathy, located in London. Somebody else in the US bought it. God forbid. Okay, so now I do think the school, though, might still be working in London. Not sure. Anyway, so we give you the Borrelia burgdorferi, and I use all drops. I don't do pills because they're worthless. So the drops go under your tongue, maybe 10 drops, maybe 15 drops. London says 1 drop will do it. Well, until you die on me because you haven't had enough treatment. So I give usually 10 to 20 drops. Yeah, I know. Oh my God, 20 drops, too much, overdose. No, it's not. It works. How do I know it works? Because since 1994, I've been taking my own medicine to prove it. And I'm their guinea pig. And if it works for me, it'll work for you. And I found that 10 to 20 drops is key. How many times a day? Depends on the medicine and depends on the disease. Excuse me. Borrelia burgdorferi, maybe you're going to do that once a week. Lyme goes with it, and that's the actual disease. You might do that twice a week. And you're going to do it for 3 to 6 months, and then we're going to test you. But the biggest test result is you when you start feeling better. See, because Lyme disease makes you real tired, very fatigued, confused, can't think straight. Many things that aren't you produce itself with Lyme disease. So you have to have a medication that's going to work to knock it out. What happens with Lyme disease? So it's in your blood. You wait long enough, it's going to go to your spinal cord, nervous system, and it's going to produce itself as a virus. Now, once that happens, and I don't know how long it will take because every body is different and every body has its own um, mechanisms for going faster, going slower, metabolism. So it enters the nervous system, which is in the spinal column. Okay, enters the nervous system. Now it's a virus. What do we do now? Well, now you've got bigger problems because you didn't catch it in the beginning when you started feeling sick. And they tested you when they pulled your blood and said, you have Lyme disease. That's when you should get it, right then and there, because you don't know how long you've had it. You just know by your symptoms. Are they getting worse? Are they getting real bad? Here's real bad with Lyme disease. You can't get out of bed. You're too weak. You have a cough. It just messes you up. So you know something's wrong because everybody's different. So I can't tell you what everyone is going to experience. But you know something isn't right. That's when it's a virus. Once again, the only way to kill the virus is to give you the disease itself. So what happens when you treat like with like and you give the disease itself on any level for any disease? Excuse me. You do not get sicker. You get more well. You get better, not sicker, better. You give yourself the disease that has no toxins. That's why you can get better. If you give a disease with toxins, you're going to get worse, of course. Then you'll die. But homeopathy is created with no toxins. We take everything out and all you get, and here's why. Here's how it works. When you put those drops under your tongue, you really are not getting the whole medicated disease. You are getting the energy of that disease. That's why it can't hurt you. That's why there's no toxins. The energy, picture this. Picture taking a stone and throwing it into a pond of water. And then you see the ripples. And each ripple goes further and further and further out. And each one of those ripples that go further out, that represents how potent the medication is, how potent the desire for healing is, because it reaches the brain, doesn't hurt you. The energy is discovered by the brain. You're dealing with energy here, not physical drops. Yeah, you put them under your tongue, but they dissipate. They go into the mucous membranes that connects with the brain, just like if you had a cough, and your brain tells you cough, and then you cough. Okay, this connects with the brain. It says, oh my gosh, I have Lyme disease. So it cures you. It's discovered as energy. It is energy. How can energy hurt you? If you walk into too much energy that your body cannot handle, yeah, it could hurt you. That's why it's important that you stick to how many drops we tell you to take. You don't overdose. You do what you're told, or you don't do it at all. How long do you do this? Until we tell you, we're going to test you now and see how far you got. Now, here's something even more wonderful. We do live blood microscopy, which means You and I have developed a home kit for this for you that live out of the country or in another state, and you can't come into the office, and I don't expect you to. Although we do have some people that come from really far away, Iraq, really, really far away, just to be treated for STDs and things like that. We stick your finger with a lancet. You don't feel it. We get a drop of blood. We put it on a slide. We put it under the microscope, and voila, I can see everything that's going on in your blood: red cells, white cells, bacteria, illnesses, disease, what was at one time bothering you, which is no more. So we could see when you're healing just by the kit that you send to me. Okay, I have devised a blood kit, and then I put the slides, the lancet, alcohol swab, including a self pay envelope back to me that you're going to send the slide with the blood back. Everything is all inclusive in this blood kit. I send it to you, you stick your finger, you put the blood on a slide, you send it back to me. I put it under the microscope, and I can tell you everything about your blood and your body and what's going on, which I think is magnificent. It's a great little idea. Nobody has done it. I'm it for the home kit for live blood microscopy. Uh, and some of you teachers out there that teach live blood will say, well, that's not going to work because you have to have fresh blood. No. You could have dried blood. Doesn't really matter. Um, anyway, so you could do the kit. I could check your blood from time to time, see if you're healing. And because if you go to the doctor and have them pull your blood from your arm, they can't always detect Lyme disease. So that's how people get really sick, because they go to the doctor and they pull your blood and they don't find the Lyme disease. You have to go for a specific test. You tell the doctor, I want a test to show Lyme disease. Okay, that's a specific test. That's a specialty test. Can't just go in and say, I want to check my blood, because then you're going to get a CBC, which is all of the things that are going on in your body as far as your calcium and your all of that, neutrophils and basophils and all. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a specialty test. So you have to tell them, I want to be treated for. I want the treatment. I want you to pull my blood for Lyme disease, or I want you to pull my blood for STDs. Whatever you're looking for, they're all specialty tests. Now that you're learning something. Okay. So you call us, we send you the kit. We can see Lyme disease in your blood spot. Now we know how to deal with it. We can see when you're healing with another kit down the road. You're going to be medicated with homeopathic medicine for 3 to 6 months with Lyme disease, also with an STD. Some people have to take medication for an STD for a year or so, depending on what STD and how long have you had it, how bad is it in your body, what's going on. Again, if you want to know what's going on in your body, even aside from Lyme disease, the blood kit is for you. We can do an online face-to-face appointment where I could do a full case history on you if you can't come into the office. Very effective, same as if you were coming into the office. The only difference is I can't check your blood. I can't check your pressure. Doesn't really matter. If you have high blood pressure, you better know about it during the time of that face-to-face consultation. If you have diabetes, you better know about it. If you don't, let's find out. Again, blood kit, consultation. What are your symptoms? Things like that. People, not only should you worry about Lyme disease, you should worry about end-stage Lyme disease, where you can no longer get out of bed. because your body cripples up. I mean, it's going to kill you. So, all of you people with Lyme disease that are in these little Lyme groups, oh God, you're going to die. Period. End of story. Shake your fannies. Let's get going. Let's cure you. Let's get rid of this horrible, horrible thing that one little baby tick is responsible for. Can you believe that? That something as small as a tick could take your life? That's what this amounts to. And that Borrelia burgdorferi, that spirochete that it spits into your blood system will kill you. Bottom line. Will an STD do that to you? Well, only if it starts with syphilis, ends up with something very, very tragic. I mean, we can work with herpes in a heartbeat. That's nothing. Herpes and HPV and all those things, very easy, very easy. But, when it comes down to AIDS, no can do. So if you have an STD, let's grab it up right now. Let's do it now. Let's cure you. Let's get you well. Let's get you well no matter what you have going on. Call me. I am Dr. Bernie, 480-703-0151. I would love to talk to you. You know, I used to do these Podbean podcasts quite often, and then I stopped because I stopped for a long, 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 long time. Because when COVID began, another conspiracy to kill us. Thank you, China. I went for the COVID vaccine, but I didn't want to go, quite clearly. So you understand, I did not want that vaccine. I was forced, being in the medical field, to have the vaccine. 3 months later, I started to lose my voice. And I listened back to some of my podcasts and I could hear myself losing my voice little by little. I blame it all on the vaccine. It took the Johnson vaccine. One shot did it all. Oh, God. All right. So little by little, I lost my voice. So what happens when you're a doctor and you can't speak to your patients? Because you've lost your voice, you lose your patients. You can't talk to them anymore. What are you going to do? Morse code? Sign language? So I lost my business. Why did I lose my business? Because losing my voice? I had cancer of the larynx. Thank you, COVID vaccine, Johnson and Johnson. Or any one of those vaccines. I hope to God all of you that got those vaccines are not going to show some ill disrespect to the body eventually. That's putting it mildly. Symptoms as you grow older. A lot of people died of heart attacks. Okay, doesn't mean you will. You better pray. Okay, so anyway, cancer of the larynx. What was I in for? Surgery. They had to remove the tumor. Lots and lots of tests, which I don't recommend. 33 treatments of radiation every single day. One a day for 33 days. But that was okay. Radiation was cool. I did it myself. I drove myself to my oncologist, took the treatment, drove myself home. Little by little, my voice came back to work. But I had to fight through cancer. And that's basically why I haven't done any podcasts lately. Plus, sometimes you're just not in the mood. You have to get fired up again. And I'm fired up. So here I am. Anyway, I plan to do this often enough. I wish I could do it every day. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do 30 minutes every day on a different topic. Maybe you can text me at 480-703-0151, not to tell me to shut up, but to tell me what you want to hear. And that's what I'll talk about on these little podcasts on Podbean. So look for me again. like I say, maybe we'll do it every day, maybe every evening. I don't know the best time to connect with you guys. So if you could drop me a little text and tell me what's best for you, what times would you like to hear my podcasts? Let's get together and let's do this together. It's no good to be alone. Let's do this together and produce some of the best podcasts there are, because it's going to be on what you want to hear about. Sam, you just entered my live studio. Thank you for coming on board. When you enter my studio, I could see your name and everything on my screen. And someday I'll let you talk with me, and we could do some really good work together. This has been Dr. Bernie from the Masseri Clinic. I love y'all. Thank you for listening. And hey, check with me again. Check every day, because you never know when I'm coming back around.